Hey, I will try to do a video about this multi-tool. This is Dakoyu fan edition, second edition, something like that. Don't put me to put a link on it because it's a link where you will see actually some cutters, not the tool itself. This is probably done for legal reasons. I bought this with my own money. I paid about 90 euros with the shipping. It's supposed to be a tool that is looking like a garage number 5. I will compare it in this video with my arc. My arc is a little bit modified, but I will actually compare it with the features which are in the normal arc, stock arc. There are a lot of people who wanted this because they didn't have money for the garage number 5 or for arc, and this is cheaper. But to be honest, this is not worth the money. This is my first view of this tool, the first impression and the last impression, because I will try to send it back and recuperate my money if I can from Dakoyu. So what are the problems? So the biggest problem and why I returned this, it's actually that the blades are very hard to open with one hand, and all the reasons you have this multi-tool, the arc, it's actually because it's operating with one hand. Even the blade, which is have a thumb stud, is very hard to open. So it's very hard to open. But I am talking about the scissors, which I cannot open with two hands. I have to actually use two hands. And the blades, which I can open with one hand, but very hard. The blades, the serrated blade and the saw blade. So let's start from the beginning with this clip. This clip is have the same length as the Leatherman ones. The Leatherman is have some tritium lights put by me, tritium vials in it. But it's have the same length here. The only difference is that it's not deep carry, so you can see that Leatherman arc is going much closer from this edge, so we'll put this tool much deeper in the pocket. This one is not like that. And a mistake done by the designers, which in my jobs, if I do this job, this kind of mistake, I will be fired. Because the pocket clip is the same length as the Leatherman, but it's positioned lower. It's actually covering the tomb spaces here. This is called in engineering an afterthought, and normally it's avoided in a design of a new product because it's showing that is no coherence in the thinking of the designer. So here it is, a mistake, which is funny for me. The biggest problem with this tool, going over the quality and the design mistakes, they actually done the locking mechanism for the pliers different. So where the Leatherman is coming with this prong here, and when it's going in this hole here, will lock the plier, the hole which is in the scales. Probably for legal reasons, they done this, the smaller prong and the locking channel inside of these washers. Let's say they are washers. So you can see that now this part there, the washers, are actually longer than the Leatherman arc. And this is actually giving you a big problem in the rest of the tool, because all the tools which are coming up to here are actually shorter. Let me show you the knife blade on this, knife blade on this. So I said already that the Leatherman arc is have a very short blade for me, a very stubby, and you can see that the Dakoyu is even shorter. Let me turn it around so you can compare it face to face like that. You can see how shorter it is. So Leatherman, it's already short because it have this swinging and locking mechanism, which is very long on the other side of the pivot, and that is making the part of the blade which is not usable from here up to the thumb here to be more than 3/4 of the blade not usable. So the blade is only 3/4 usable and 1/4 not usable. And this is probably 40% not usable and 60 usable. Yeah, so you have this distance here that is not usable as a blade, and this distance from the thumb up, it's usable. Yeah, I don't care if the blade is D2 instead of Magna Cut. What I care is that the quality is very bad. I don't know if you can see in this video, they have a chisel here. They painted the blade over that chisel, which is normal, but after that they sharpen the blade at different angle from that bevel. Yeah, so sorry, maybe I saw the chisel instead of bevel. Yeah, so they have a bevel, and after that the sharpening angle, it's actually different from that bevel. Strange. Yeah. What they implement here, they put a longer Phillips screwdriver, which a lot of users ask for, and some user actually put in their Leatherman arc. No, not my cup of tea, because actually in Europe we use, so the Phillips and the flat screwdriver are actually obsolete. They are not very used. In Europe, you'll use more Posi number 2 screwdriver, or some technical screws like Torx or Allen key screws. That's why I actually prefer the bit adapter that ARC and other models from Leatherman have, because I can carry with me a lot of bits and they are more useful. But this was requested by a lot of people from the United States. So they put it here. Not very agreed by me, but definitely something better from other people. Yeah. Also, this is have a bottle opener. People will say that they will not open bottles because now the bottles, they have the thread. What I can tell you is that you can use this actually to open jar lids. You use this just to move the lip a little bit to leave the pressure to equalize between the jar and the room, and then you can open the jar with the hand. I have a video in my video list. This tool, I don't know exactly what this tool is. Probably is it's a flat screwdriver and some wire isolation cutter. If I was the designer on this, I will definitely use this opportunity to make a new tool to actually put more features in this, at least on this area here, in better to make this tool better than the original. But it is what it is. Yeah. The best feature on this tool, they bring back the serrated blade. I know that the serrated blade is hated by some people, especially that the people who are they are liking to sharpen their own blades, and they are very proud with their sharp blades. They split the hairs into and things like that, and they don't like the serrated blade because it's very hard to sharpen. But I think the serrated blade is very useful in a multi-tool. In my case, I use this specific serrated blade in my search to actually decimate the carton boxes in order to be able to put them in a recycle bin. The bigger carton boxes have to be decimated, and this blade is helping me. Is not only that it's cutting the carton better, but it's allowing me to use this blade and not dull the main blade. Yeah, very good to have this. And they also put the gutting hook here, and not only that, they put the gutting hook, but they done it for the industrial purposes, because they put a sharp edge here. Normally, if you want to cut some animal parts with it, you don't need to have this well, it's better not to have this sharpen, so we will not punch the belly of the animal. It will cut only the skin, but this is done for the industrial reason. Yeah, so you can cut cable ties with it and things like that. Very good to do this. The blade, they sharpen this blade at a very steep angle, and this is making the teeth not to be very pronunciated. This is bad, yeah. And the part which is bad on this is that obviously the blade is very short and not very useful when it's so short. But I like the fact that they actually put this in this multi-tool. On this side, the saw. The saw, it's definitely smaller from the reason I told you before. It's smaller than the inner arc, but the cutting edge, yeah, the teeth edge, it's actually the same. It's better in arc because being longer, even if it doesn't have this so many teeth, it allows you to make a longer stroke, and this will not jump as easy out of the channel you cut with. My blade, it's also modified here. It's have a sharpened tip to be as a chisel, and I actually suggest for Dakoyu, if we'll ever do a tool, a different tool, to actually put something similar in a tip to have more uses for the same tool and will bring value to your tool, even if it will be a smaller add to the industrialization that you will have to do an extra sharpening process. Yeah, so you can see the teeth part is the same length. Next. The can opener. The can opener in Leatherman Arc, they brought the new type of can opener, which is the similar with the Victorinox, what Victorinox is here for a long time, which is better for the can opening, but people from the United States protested because they are used with this kind of the old eagle claw, how the people from the United States say. They are used with this and they wanted this back. So they bring it back. The reamer or the awl or whatever is better and not so better than the arc. Let me actually open it to show you what is the problem. Yeah, so this reamer from an arc, if you want to scrape a surface like this table, to scrape, let's say, the glue from a label, you cannot do it because actually you have this, that it will not allow you to align this sharpening edge with the table. On this, they start to do this, probably for another reason, so they put an angle here, but you have the same problem. If you are trying to align this surface with a surface, this sharp edge with the surface to scrape, this prong it's actually will disalign because it's too long. Also, they put back the hole for the wire in this, which in arc they remove it. And here is the problem on the internet that the people, when they saw that they remove the hole from this, they complain, and when they bring it back on alpha, they complain again. So for me, it doesn't have any value. I'm not interested if this hole exists or not, because I will not do such a heavy task with this instruments. I will not make holes in a very tough material, because I use the multi-tool for light tasks, and when I have more serious tasks, more heavy duty, I use the proper tools for it. Yeah, so I'm not bothering if this hole is weakening this tool or not. Then, because you have the serrated blade on these sides, you'll have the file here, which is not diamond file, yeah, and is very short, so useless. Also have a small flat screwdriver, which I told you that in Europe is not so much used. Maybe you'll use this as a small pry bar to open some battery covers from some toys or remote control or something like that. But otherwise, I will not see why you'll have this. And also you have a file which is just to be on the paper and doesn't seem to be very useful. It's not aggressive, it's short, so it's there just to be there. Yeah. So on this side we finished. On this side we finished. It doesn't have the bit adapter as I told you, and it doesn't have the micro screwdriver adapter, which some people seems to love. I don't care about the micro bit adapter because having such a small screwdriver with such a heavy handle try to make a very fine task, not recommended. Yeah, but just for you to know. The scissors. So they find the money to actually implement the coloring process, whatever the DHL or whatever process is to make the scissors black. But the scissors, they are not very good in arc. They are not very good in this tool either. They are cutting very good at this part of the scissors, yeah, so where is closer from the pivot, but when you go to the edge, they don't cut very well, and that is because the scissors are much thinner than the Leatherman arc, or what it seems. I'm not sure, but it seems that the arc is have thicker scissors, and this being thinner, they will bend when you try to cut with the tips. Some hard material, they will bend and spreading apart from each other. Yeah, so this is the most of the tool. Oh yeah, the big boo-boo in the multi-tool, the pliers. Yeah, so the pliers, they have at the first look, they have the same look as the one from the Leatherman. They have a different mechanism for probably legal reasons, but there are some differences. First of all, because that mechanism is not very, it doesn't have very good tolerances here. The handles are moving in this direction like this. Yeah. Because the trenches where that lock mechanism, they are bigger than they supposed to. Yeah, and it's give you this movement that is make you to not be very confident on the grip. Also, they don't have the how you call this, crimping mechanism. Yeah, so the Leatherman is have some mechanism here, yeah, which will bend not only the bend in a round shape, the terminals, the metal terminals, but also will make the channels to catch the wires, yeah, with this part here. This doesn't have that, and because it's a straight line, probably when you'll put the terminal in here to cap it, they will slide out. Yeah, so probably it will be better to actually do with that part with this part of the pliers. They can be dismantled, and here again, a suggestion to Dakoyu. I mean, if you are trying to make a tool that you want to sell, why not make it better than Leatherman? If you have this, which is better than Leatherman, to dismantle the plier head, why don't put a spring inside? Yeah, so the pliers are not spring actioned, and if you put the spring that will give you the possibility to say to the user, if you don't like the spring action, you just open the screw, you remove the spring, and you have non-spring it action on the plier. Much better than the Leatherman arc. When you put that spring, the head of that spring, you will have a channel that will hold one of the ends or both of the ends in a fixed position. Yeah, so the wire, the spring will be tensioned. Make more channels, more position where one of the head can be held, so you can modify the force of the spring. Yeah, so we will make it softer or harder depending on what the users want. You will have a better selling tool. One other thing which I will not say that is made bad by the Dakoyu, but is something I will prefer in my tools, is to have the tips of the plier, the noses of the plier, very thin. That's why it's called needle nose plier, is because you can use this plier tips actually to like big tweezers, let's say like that. Yeah, so you can introduce them in very small spaces and hold something or take something like a plug on the motherboard or something like that. Yeah, Dakoyu, they make this part bigger. Yeah, I understand that they want to make it more resisting, but it's eliminating an advantage of these pliers. They have normal shaped cutters, not the defective cutters that this arc is coming with. I have them replaced in my model, but you know that this model have problems with the cutters. Probably they don't have this problem. Anyway, this tool comes with a spare pair of cutters. Also with a pouch which is similar with the Molly pouch from Leatherman. Not a very good quality, but it's there compared with the arc, which is not coming with that. But that is normal on the tools that is coming, they are clones from China. Yeah, so these are the biggest problems with them. As I told you, I have it since 2 hours ago, something like that, so maybe there are other problems. In general, these clones from China, and that's why I actually have another clone here, clone of the Surge from other company. They look like Leatherman, but do not think that you will use them like Leatherman, or you will be able to take parts from this tool to put in your Leatherman. It's not the case here because the parts are different. They have different joints. Maybe you will be able to transfer some parts from this one to this one. But for example, you cannot put the blade from this one because it's longer to here because you don't have enough space. And the same with this. I see a lot of people who are thinking that I will take this Surge clone and I use it as a Surge and I will put a pocket clip. No, this it doesn't. You cannot put a pocket clip on it because it doesn't have that space. So they are not exact clones of the Leatherman tools. I'm saying that maybe you people know that I don't like Leatherman company lately because of how it's treating their clients. But to be honest, right now their tools are better than the Chinese ones. So don't make that mistake. For example, this one, here we go. After few months of using, I cannot open this blade anymore. I have to move it around to move it. Again, I cannot put a clip on it. I cannot take the bit adapter from it and put it on this because even if it's look like the same tool, they are actually have different dimensions. Yeah, so be careful about this kind of thinking that you will take a cheaper tool and you will complete the more expensive tool with the parts from each other. Yeah, so this is my first look at this tool, and as I said, the last. I will try to recuperate my money on it. Probably after this video I will not be able to recuperate my money on it. Yeah, I will say try to avoid to buy this. Dakoyu definitely shows that they have the industrialization capability to make a multi-tool, but in my opinion they should change the design team and a little bit of philosophy of the company. Instead of copying tools from other companies like Leatherman and make them worse to be cheaper, they should employ some capable engineers, designers, and make a tool with their industrialization capability to make a tool that will be better than Leatherman. Yeah, after that, the Leatherman will still say that it's a US made, blah, 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 blah. But when you will have a tool that will come on the market and will be better and more useful than a Leatherman, you will have sales on it. Yeah, just a suggestion. You know they're the owner of this company, you know they're from Canada, from where you are. What is the philosophy of your company? This is a suggestion from a mechanical designer. Yeah, that you can do much better with the possibilities you have. For the people trying to buy this is a very nice looking tool. Some people is making, it's advertising this tool, especially there are some channels which are specialized in promoting Chinese clones. My suggestion is don't buy this. Doesn't worth money. Doesn't worth money as a everyday carry tool. Doesn't worth the money as a spare parts source for your tool. Yeah. So this is my impression. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. You can tell me in the comments if I make any mistake or something else. Until next time, may the tool be with you. Bye.